We want to welcome our moderator, Bruce Milne, for this night's candidates meeting. Bruce?
Thank you, Ken, and let me start by thanking all of you, members of the community, for being here. It's really important that you're here, and I'm really glad to see such a good turnout. As we go through the night, and I know I've been working a microphone for a few years, if you can't hear me in the back, just make some signals like that, and I'll bring this a little bit closer to my mouth and make sure you can hear me, and we'll try and follow through in that way. We're hoping to be here for a couple of hours, from 7 till just after 9. And we wanted to start with the mayoralty candidates, two gentlemen that are in front of you today. I'm glad to say I've worked with both of them, Councillor Inkster and Councillor Mayor Cameron Reid. So the way it starts, each candidate is going to be given about 90 seconds, a minute and a half, to tell us a little bit about themselves, who they are, why they're here, what they're bringing to the position. And then we've got a couple of questions that we have prepared, and then I want to open it up to the community. And unlike a lot of other all candidates meetings we've had in the past, I didn't want to filter it with all the questions coming to me and letting me screen them and then ask them through. I really want members of the community to be able to come to the microphone, address directly the council candidates or the mayoralty candidates. And I figure if we're in a community and you can't ask a direct question of somebody who's going to represent you in office, and they can't answer directly back, then we've got serious problems in the community. So let's deal with that. On the other hand, I will keep that absolutely respectful. I won't allow any personal attacks of any sort. This will not allow people to come and speak for 90 seconds or 2 minutes about their pet issue. We're asking you to pose questions to the candidates. The candidates are here to respond about what they're bringing to the office. It's not about pet peeves or issues that you may have. So I'm going to watch that very carefully as well. And I think we can do that respectfully and still make sure we have direct open contact between candidates and members of the community. So that's the forum we're going to try and follow through. If you don't have questions, I've got a few in my back pocket that I would come up with, and we'll keep the evening rolling along in some form or other. And the only other thing I wanted to do, two more things actually. I wanted to we mentioned that it was in fact the West Porpoise Bay Residents Association, the West Sechelt Residents Association, and the Village Residents Association, but also I wanted to mention the organizing committee so you knew who actually did the work, because these things don't happen unless people are doing a lot of work. First, Bob Ware, Ken Matheson, Ken Crozier, and Gail Riddell. And they've put in a lot of work over the last 6 weeks. I know I've been on the phone in a couple of different meetings with them. And that's why this is working tonight, for that extra work that they have done as well. The candidates for mayor and candidates for council have all been given a prepared couple of questions. Those are the ones I'll start with. But we've also asked them to start, if we may, with a presentation about themselves and why they're here. And we're going to try and do everything alphabetical for the first start. And then later with the councillors, I'll have it mixed up so it's not always the same pattern. But tonight, if you don't mind, I'll start with the youngest man in front of us today, Councillor Inkster. And I'll try my very best to be absolutely fair and biased. So if that was unbiased, I'll find some way to get something positive to Cameron. Karen.
On? I would first like to welcome everyone here tonight. This is your opportunity to find out about us, your candidates, and I thank you all for coming. My name is Darren Inkster, and I'm running for the office of Mayor of Sechelt, a place that is near and dear to my heart. I've lived in Sechelt for about 25 years and presently live in Davis Bay. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, would you ask the candidate to stand up?
We didn't give them podiums, so it might be difficult depending on if he's wearing progressives like mine. He might have to go back. So give them a bit of slack if he has to wait. You can come over here. I'll reset the clock because he's now up to 50 seconds and he hasn't started.
Such is my life. I would first like to welcome everyone here tonight. This is your opportunity to find out about us, your candidates, and I thank you for coming. My name is Darren Inkster, and I'm running for the office of Mayor of Sechelt, a place that is near and dear to my heart. I've lived in Sechelt for about 25 years and presently live in Davis Bay with my partner Penny and child Logan. After what my parents considered to be a lengthy university education, I received a BA in history with a minor in communications and a minor in political science, as well as receiving a second designation in criminology from Simon Fraser University. I returned to Sechelt in 1992 to complete a business certificate at Cap College and to manage the family business. I also volunteered with youth and business organizations in my spare time. I was first elected to council in 1999 and have served for 3 terms chairing many committees and working with many community groups. I believe in open, ethical, accountable government. I promise you that if elected, I will govern Sechelt in a financially sustainable manner that puts people first. My community will be inclusive and there will be no room for special interest. On November 15th, vote for community rights, vote for community values, vote for our environment, vote for me, Darren Inkster, Mayor of Sechelt. Thank you.
Cameron, do you want to come up there or do you want to stand here?
Bruce said if we go back and forth, we're going to run over time, so he's not going to allow us to do that. So, all right, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here to listen to us and also providing us the opportunity to listen to you with your questions. The interesting thing is when I think back, I've now served 2 terms as council and 1 term as mayor, so this will be 12 years on the council. When I first ran, I ran with a 1-issue concern, and that was regional recreation. And I was also concerned that we would then, in the next term, have 1 government on the coast. Well, we've got the recreation looked after, everybody's cooperating, and I think that's a tremendous success to all the governments on the coast to have accomplished that. But the issue of 1 government, I think, is just not before us at the moment. So here we are, we're back. As I've apprenticed under Mayor Milne and learned how important process is, we recognize that it's difficult to get public input, to hear from everybody, to actually hear from them, and then for council to wrestle with all of the issues. And believe me, they're divisive. And it seems whenever we make a decision that people don't agree with, we didn't listen to them. And that's not the case. Even around the council table, often our sessions are 5-1, 6-1, and occasionally, very occasionally, they are unanimous. But in the majority of cases, they're not. So we have to look at ways as an elected government to find a better mechanism to hear from you. We really do. I hear frustrations with the public hearing process and the rezonings. We hear frustrations that the community isn't listening to us, and council will. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you heard the bell by our timekeeper, Gail. She's going to try and keep us moving along. So that usually means wrap up.